now.
Hi, I'm Greg Bouyeris. I work with the Boys and Girls Club in Calistoga. I recently did a training at our Boys and Girls Club Association about color runs for Boys and Girls Club Week, and I've been receiving a lot of emails and phone calls from people about how to make cornstarch for a cornstarch run. It's very easy, very simple, and I figured I'd just do a quick tutorial real quick so you guys know what I'm doing. So basically what you're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to look at our supplies. I go to Cash and Carry. It's a local restaurant supply store in Santa Rosa. I can get a gallon of yellow food coloring, a gallon of red, for about $5 to $7 a piece. The blue, I had the special order. It's a little bit more expensive. It's about $10 a piece. I don't know why, they just do it that way. And then also I got 50-pound bags of cornstarch. I try to do about a half a pound per kid. So if I'm expecting 200 kids, I'll try to have at least 100 pounds of cornstarch available for them. One of these gallons is equivalent to make one full bag. So however many bags you get, that's the number of gallons that you're going to want to get in food coloring, unless you're planning to do white as well. So let me come over here and I'll show you how to do it. So I've already brought some fresh cornstarch and put it in a 5-gallon bucket. I'll use my measuring cup. I'm just going to do a small amount for you real quick so you have an understanding of how to do it. I dump it into my trusty old mixer. This is one of the most disgusting projects you'll ever do just because it gets everywhere. Oh, this is blue food coloring. I'm working on blue today. And if you can get a shot right in here. What I'll try and do is I'll try and just saturate every molecule, every particle of this cornstarch with food coloring. When I've got a good layer going, I'll put in the mixer. I'll take a rag. Well, actually, I'll show you what happens when you don't put on the rag. I'll start it up. As you can see, we're already going to start to get powder coming out, and it makes a mess of everything. So if you have computers in here or electronics of any kind, it's not really great for them. So I'll take a rag and put it over the whole bowl. That way it keeps all the powder contained. Then I'll continue to spray until I get... It'll actually look a little pastel, which is fine. The more it mixes, the more that color is going to spread out. So you want to spray for a little bit and then just let it sit while it's going. Once it gets a little moist, you can pull the rag off just because the moisture is going to keep the powder in the bowl. You don't have to worry about it going all over the room as much. Okay, so Suzanne, can you take a look in here? Okay, so you can already see that we've gone from the white to a little bit of a pastel blue. And it'll clump on the sides. Doing this will help mix all that solid color in there. So we're going to let that sit. Okay, so eventually, come around here, you'll get a product that looks like this. It's the cornstarch mixed with the food coloring. It's pretty clingy. It's not really a powder at this point. It needs to be dried. So what I'll do in order to dry this is I'll take the food coloring and cornstarch and I'll pack it against the sides of this tub. And the reason we're packing it this way is because we want as much surface area as possible. One of the best ways to get this dry is to have as much of it exposed to air as possible. And so the more airflow, the drier it's going to get and the faster it's going to get that way. Okay, then I'll take all of it, we'll go outside real quick, and I'll stage it outside in the sun. So as you can see, we already have a couple bins out here that we've been working on. I put this one out here earlier last week. It's still, I'm sorry, this is actually earlier this week, so a couple days ago. It's still a little clumpy. There's a lot of moisture in the air this week, so it's taken some time. But I'll continue to shuffle things around just to continue to dry it out. Eventually, you'll end up with a very dry product, and we'll go inside and take a look at the next step. Okay, so this is an example of what you should be looking for. When you pick it up and put it down, you can already see the cloud coming out. That's a good dust cloud. So we want it to be about that consistency. But when I'm putting my hand in here, the problem is that we have dust, but then we also have these granules. It's really bad to throw granules at kids because they get hurt and that's not fun. So what I do instead is or to combat that, is I'll take a sifter, transfer it over to another bucket, and then I'll just sift the powder out. This gives me the granules left over. I'll dump those out on the table and then use a rolling pin to just break those up. When I'm done with that, get it all back together, put it back in the sifter, and then continue until it got a nice soft powder. This is perfect. That's exactly what we want. When I've got to that point, I'll put everything in Ziploc bags, and then we'll be ready. As I said, you try and have a ½ pound per child. We're doing a lot more this year than we've ever done in the past. So we'll probably do more about 1.5 pounds per child, just because we really want to rock the heck out of this thing this year. Don't be afraid to use white cornstarch too. So, this is very labor intensive in terms of getting all these things to the way you want them. But if you have a couple stations that were set up for white, you don't need to color those at all. So that would make it a lot easier in terms of just prep. I started doing this about a month in advance of Boys and Girls Club Week, and that's enough time for me to make about 400 to 500 pounds of colored cornstarch, in addition to my regular duties. So yeah, if there are any questions, you're more than welcome to email me or call me. I'll leave my email address in the notes of this YouTube, and my phone number. Hopefully you guys are able to contact me through the association. Okay, hope all's well, and I will talk to you later.